Servus und hallo, welcome to this new video where I tell you the process of clipperizing the SV03 that I had purchased. I took on this project because I wanted to try out a clipper for myself, because I will be building a Voron 0.1, and for that you obviously need some experience in clipper, and I wanted to try to put clipper on this machine. After I have decided that I wanted to do that and ordered the Pi and small power supply, I noticed that there is not a config for an SV03 yet. So I knew I had to do some fiddling with things, and it brought me to a finished config, which is linked in the description. Before we start the full breakdown, there will be a part 2 for this, because currently I have just unclogged, if you follow me on Twitter, I have just unclogged my Dragon hot end that was originally clogged with PTG, and I printed the whole spool of this PTG and have new PTG coming in order to print ABS parts, in order to print good things for the Voron and other things. So there will be definitely a part 2, it will take some time though. How to get Clipper, or how I made my upgrades for Clipper and how I upgraded to Clipper. There's a lot of Clipper in one sentence. I knew I didn't want to use a camera. That's why I chose a Pi 0 WH. It has the GPIO pins already soldered onto the board if I wanted to do something with them, but mainly it was just inexpensive solution to get Clipper on a machine. The Pi 0 is incapable of running input shaper, but I will have a Pi 3 for my Voron 0.1, and I will get some more Pis too, so I can run input shaper if I wanted to, and I will obviously do it. Then I got a Dragon hot end because I thought, or I think it's a good hot end. I just need to figure out the right cooling solution, and that's why originally my Dragon clogged on me with PTG. I have since made my other printer, the Artillery Genius, where I stuck a BMG, a V6 and a Volcano on it, and this printer prints PTG like no other thing I've seen. BMG, dual git extruder, triangle lab clone, easy, works. I ordered it, and then like a day later I found out about the LGX, and it was just a sad story. But I think this will work until I get some LGXs in my printing room. Then Clipper, I will run you through what I use and how I set it all up. Silicone spacers, I bought some silicone spacers, which you don't have to do. I figured that out after I was done. But the silicone spacers are something that replace your springs, so the bed holds its level longer, even though it has an ABL. It's just something that's more rigid. And then polycarbonate wheels. The original V wheels that are used in these China printers are fine if you don't use your 3D printer much, because after some time there's this residue, and I ordered a lot of polycarbonate wheels to exchange the X carriage and the bed. I couldn't get to the Z carriage that's assembled in such a way that it's really hard to change out the V wheels, but they don't get used that often, like not that hard. Most of the time the X and Y are prone to more usage. I'm going to explain some things now that are here on the list. Polycarbonate wheels, already talked about it, work fine, are super quiet, an easy upgrade. They are kind of expensive because I bought them out of Germany, and quality is usually expensive here. The silicone spacers I wouldn't buy again. I would just print, if I had the ability to print some TPU spacers, because then you can adjust all the heights and things. I think I will do that, but I have to look up the temperature resistance of TPU again, because I want to enclose the SV03, I think. Clipper. So how I installed Clipper was, I followed the teaching tech guide on the 8-bit board. Like it's either a 8 or 32-bit board, but I think I followed the 8-bit board one and got the main install, and I went with mainsail, because as Nero always says, fluid and mainsail are almost the same. Just pick which interface you like more, and I chose mainsail because I like red. It's very simple, but it works. I didn't go with Octoprint because Octoprint is a kind of heavier duty system and it's more taxing on the Pi, and if I would run Octoprint on my Pi, I would need a better Pi. But I wanted to run this fairly clean and fairly slim, so mainsail it was. with my Pi Zero. The SV03 will be my big PLA machine. I have a 0.8mm nozzle and he will print all the terrain that I have because he prints that very well, and all the dice trays that are available in my shop. If you're interested, I will, once I get the SV03 running again, I will post more updates, but these are 3D printed dice trays for tabletop things. And that's why I also choose the Dragon standard flow, because it melts plastic very well, has a good heatsink. Talking about the extruder, or like the X carriage, I have to redesign everything because I want to use dual part blower fans and I have to increase cooling on the hot end, on the cold end rather, and that has to be done still. I'm waiting on more PTG so I can print it first out of PTG, so I can print an enclosure and then print in the enclosed space something out of ABS that holds longer than PTG, because in an enclosed space PTG doesn't hold that well, and even if I will probably always keep the doors open in the SV03, ABS just holds everything better, to my understanding at least. If you can prove me wrong, you're welcome to do so. Yeah, that's pretty much it for part 1. This is just the setting up. There will be at least a part 2, maybe also part 3 when I decide to do something really crazy. Getting Kipper installed is really easy if you just follow the tutorial that Teaching Tech provided, because he's a channel that he explains things very well. Something you should look out for is the country code when you configure your Wi-Fi, and also some people have, like we have here in Germany, we have a Wi-Fi protocol that Pi is not able to use, and so you need to downgrade to an older type of internet protocol in your Wi-Fi, but you don't risk and yada yada yada. I will post some more pictures on my Twitter when I'm done with this. Yeah, in part 2 we also cover all the upgrades. I will show you some more. I will show you all the wiring that I have done and will do, because I crimped some connectors so that the hot end is almost like a Voron, easily disassemblable, and you can pull out all the wires and swap in new ones or take it off easier. At least that's my plan. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this type of video, please like and subscribe. I have gathered a few subscribers in the last month, which is pretty outstanding considering I'm almost only doing vlogs because uni started again and I'm busy as hell because this is programming semester all of a sudden. I'm looking forward to making more videos on this topic. I'm already playing with the idea of converting the Artillery Genius to Clipper, because he's a workhorse of a printer. It's just difficult because they have different mainboard. But that's a story for another video. I will see you in the next video. I hope you 3D print something and that you have no print failures. Tschüss und auf Wiedersehen.